This game recap is brought to you by Manscaped's Foot Duster Foot Deodorant. Say goodbye to stinky foot funk with this essential deodorant spray. Head over to manscaped.com and use the promo code SACCITY for 20% off and free worldwide shipping. The Foot Duster Foot Deodorant by Manscaped. The best protection any place below the waist.
We kick things off with the Houston Texans falling, I should say, to the Chicago Bears 23-20. It was good signs on the Texans side, though, seeing Damian Pierce out-touch Rex Burkhead 20-3 in terms of carries. He had a very good day, 20 carries, 80 yards, and a touchdown. But that is not the running back that gets all the credit. I know we're starting things off early. We haven't even went into the game yet. But my player of the game is said running back, Khalil Herbert, 20 carries, 2 receptions, 169 yards, and 2 tutties after David Montgomery went out early in the game. Khalil Herbert was able to carry the rock for the Chicago Bears and lead them to victory. Aaron, your overall thoughts on Khalil Herbert and what the Bears did to get the win here on Sunday?
Yeah, not surprising. The Bears were able to run the football. We've talked about the Houston defense against the run. They didn't stack up well against Jonathan Taylor, but they've been kind of this bend but don't break defense, and it was that kind of defense again. They created some turnovers, but Khalil Herbert ran like I expected him to run. He ran really well when David Montgomery missed time last year. He's a hard runner, so it's not surprising that a Khalil Herbert gets that kind of statistical numbers against a bad defense. I was more concerned with the offensive line. I was more concerned with Justin Fields. But Khalil Herbert himself, I think Khalil Herbert played fine. Fields is intriguing to me. Matt Eberflus, I don't know what the offensive game plan is, and I don't know if this is predicated on the offensive line or not, but he just seems to be running for his life. And then he's just trying to force. So with the limited number of opportunities, every quarterback feels like they have to go and make a play. And don't get me wrong, Justin Fields played bad, and he said he played like shit, and he would need to be held accountable, and he needs to play better and all that stuff. I get that, but I know as a player, when you only get so many opportunities to make a play, you start pressing. And so when Justin Fields is back there only dropping back, 17 times or whatever it is, he's going to press. And when he starts to press, he starts to make mistakes. So look, I don't really know where right now, Justin Fields is a mess. I don't know where we're at. He got sacked 5 times. They're just not doing enough with Justin Fields. And I attributed this to the front office, really, more so than anything. They did not surround him with enough talent for him to really be successful. And I am never one to give excuses. But a rookie quarterback, I'm sorry, they get excuses. They don't have the experience. Justin Fields does not have the experience of an Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers doesn't get an excuse. He's supposed to make up for deficiencies on an offense. Justin Fields cannot be asked to do that when he lacks the experience of reading defenses in the NFL, playing against NFL competition. Those things are something he has to grow into and learn. When you get a young quarterback, the whole point of drafting a young quarterback high is what? It's being able to pay everybody else around him. And who have they paid? They won't even pay Roquan Smith, who had, first of all, that should have been your player of the game because he absolutely dominated. Interception, I think he had almost 20 tackles. From a defensive standpoint, a defensive player, he is the reason they won that game. I get Khalil Herbert had a great running game, but I think you honestly could have put David Montgomery and he would have done it, or anybody else back there. The Bears run the football really well. They've done it now for 3 straight games. It's been that defense who, again, Roquan Smith. I just don't like that the Bears have surrounded Justin Fields with not limited resources, but nothing. It's literally Khalil Herbert and David Montgomery.
This is what we talked about, though. We talked about this being a thing, this being a possible thing that we see during the season. Remember, we preview. It's funny because it's not funny, but we talked all off season long about how bad this offense is going to look for Justin Fields because he has no weapons. They did nothing to help him out. They did not bring in an offensive line that can protect him. They did not bring in weapons that he can throw to. When you're throwing to Equanimeous St. Brown and Darnell Mooney has not existed, Cole Kmet has not existed. It's just I don't know how much of this is game plan how much of this is lack of talent? Like, is this a 50-50 thing here, or what's your percentage here for game plan and also lack of talent?
Well, I'll start. It's lack of talent more than it is game plan. I'm not going to knock Matt Eberflus only. I'm sorry, but Equanimity St. Brown, journeyman wide receiver. Byron Pringle, basically a journeyman wide receiver. Darnell Mooney's the only one that's a little lackluster that I'm like, where are you? Like, you're supposed to be a big playmaker. That might be more scheme. Scheme him to get open. Find ways to get Darnell Mooney the ball because he is an electric player, the only electric player they have on the outside. So, yeah, I would say 60-40. 60 for front office management for getting him nothing, no offensive line help, and going to get Alex Leatherwood instead of actually just investing in some offensive line help this offseason. They could have did what the Bengals did. Why couldn't they go out and pay and do what the Bengals did? And I get the Bengals offensive line still sucks, but they could have went out and got the names.
This is Jacksonville last year, and I know I'm a Jags fan. Like this is Jacksonville last year with Trevor Lawrence, and it's. You're asking your franchise quarterback who you invested highly in to go out there and be successful with a team of special teamers on offense. Like that's kind of where like the Jags last year had James Robinson. The Bears have a great running game with David Montgomery. There's like the weapons are like kind of there, but there's not enough there to say, okay, franchise quarterback, franchise rookie and young quarterback, go do what you got to do to win us football games. It's just not. I don't like what the Bears are doing for Justin Fields, and this is exactly what we thought we would see from the Bears, but it's just. I guess it's a little bit more disappointing that it's as bad as it is. I think that's where it's at right now. It's like we thought they'd be bad, and they won this game. The Bears won this game. The Bears are 2-1. Like that's the thing. The Bears are 2-1 right now. They are what? They're tied. They're tied for first in the NFC South, right? Well, I guess the Packers would have the advantage over them because they're also 2-1 and they beat them. But like they're right there. They're 2-1 in this division. Like that's a thing.
That's why I say overreactions, like because the Bears are 2-1 and we know that, but none of us believe it. So none of us believe that the Bears 2-1 is a real 2-1. Like we know that this team is bad, and again they had circumstances around their games, but at the end of the day, you brought it up that you hit the nail on the head when you talked about franchise quarterbacks and surrounding them guys. Patrick Mahomes is not Patrick Mahomes because he came out, he was just Patrick Mahomes. I get it, he was great, but if they didn't have those guys around him and a great coaching staff, he wouldn't be Patrick Mahomes. Josh Allen would not be Josh Allen right now if they didn't surround him with everything he needed to be successful. And that's the problem, is they think these guys just come out and that's who they are, and that's not the case. Justin Fields is not just going to be that great future Hall of Famer Justin Fields that you expected when you drafted him just because his name is Justin Fields. You have to put him in a position to be successful, and the Bears have not done that.
Plain and simple.
And we wasted all that time on the Bears when the Texans, just tough loss for the Texans. They could have won that game. And shout out Bainbridge, Georgia, for Damian Pierce. You're a dog, and you should be the starter, and you should get the more carries than Rex Burkhead. And I'm glad that they're giving them to you.
I feel like on the Texans side, if you're a Texans fan watching this and you're a Texans fan to watch this game, it's again those positive takeaways we said at the beginning of the season. We'll continue to say it now. This is how it's going to be. You might not win these games, but you're going to keep them close. And I think they're starting to develop that strategy of a winning. Like Lovie Smith is not a dumb coach. He's not a bad coach. He's not a great coach, but he's not a bad coach. And he's smart enough to recognize what the problems are and fixing them. And we saw the adjustments progress through 3 weeks. Now giving Damian Pierce 20 carries in this game, and you saw what he can do with it. He was very productive. And it really came down to a last second Davis Mills turnover that really ended this game. Like that's what it came down to. And that's something that like
ball.
Yeah. Yeah. So like it's not something that's like crazy. It's like, oh, this is terrible. They're dogs. They continue to fight. Houston will continue to be. I think there's more positives out of the losing team in this game than the winning team. Like I think that's the.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I think Houston's going in the right direction, playing tough, and it's exactly what we talked about. They're a young team, so they're going to lose these games. They're going to make miscues when they shouldn't, but they're right there, and that's the growth you want to get from them. Playing these close games now. Next year, you have another year, whether you decide it's Davis Mills or not. They've been in those situations, and they'll be able to make those adjustments and come away with a few more wins. And it's all you can ask for from a young team, is to continue to progress.
Yep. Next week, Houston hosts the Chargers, and the Bears are on the road to take on the Giants. So tough test for the Texans, and a possible winnable game for the Bears. I don't know. We'll see if the Giants come out alive tonight on Monday Night Football.